Are we living through the end of an era? It's a huge question, and one that keeps a lot of people up at night. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating and maybe a little scary theory from investment legend Ray Dalio. He believes the world order as we know it, the one led by the United States since the end of World War II, is crumbling. And what comes next? Potentially, a new era of global conflict. Now, before you think this is all doom and gloom, stick with me. Understanding these massive shifts is the first step to navigating them. Dalio's framework is built on history. He studied the rise and fall of great empires, from the Dutch to the British, and found a clear, repeating cycle. Every empire goes through predictable stages: a rise fueled by innovation and a strong economy, a golden age at the top, and then a slow, painful decline caused by debt, internal division, and the rise of a powerful rival. Sound familiar? Dalio argues the United States is in that final stage. We see massive national debt, deep political polarization, and the incredible rise of China as a challenger on the world stage. This transition from one dominant power to another is rarely peaceful. It's a period Dalio calls the dangerous transition, and it's where we are right now. So, when we talk about conflict, what do we actually mean? Dalio breaks it down into 5 types of war that are already happening. First, the trade war. Think tariffs, sanctions, and battles over who controls key industries like semiconductors and technology. It's about crippling your rival's economy without firing a single shot. We've seen this escalating for years between the US and China. Second is the technology war. This is a race for dominance in future-defining fields like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and 5G. The country that wins the tech race will likely have the strongest economy and the most advanced military. It's a silent but incredibly high-stakes battle. Third, the geopolitical influence war. This is the global chess match. Who has more allies? Who controls key shipping lanes? Who gets to write the rules for international organizations? We see this playing out as countries are pressured to pick a side between Washington and Beijing. Fourth, the capital war. This is about controlling the flow of money. The US has long had the ultimate weapon here, the dollar as the world's reserve currency. But we're seeing countries like China, Russia, and others actively trying to create alternatives to reduce their dependence on the dollar. If the dollar loses its status, it would be a seismic shock to the global financial system and to America's power. And finally, the one everyone fears: military war. Dalio sees this as the last resort, but a very real possibility when a rising power and a declining power can't resolve their differences. The flashpoints are obvious: Taiwan, the South China Sea. This isn't a prediction of immediate war, but a warning that the risk is higher than it's been in decades. So, if you're watching all this unfold, the big question is, what does this mean for your money? How do you protect your wealth in such a chaotic time? Historically, during these periods of conflict and transition, traditional assets can be incredibly volatile. Currencies can be devalued, stocks can crash, and government bonds can become risky if the government itself is under strain. Think about it. During a major war, governments print money like crazy to fund the effort. This leads to inflation, which eats away at the value of your cash and bonds. Supply chains get disrupted, hitting corporate profits and causing stock markets to become unpredictable. It's a minefield for investors. Dalio emphasizes the importance of diversification, not just across different stocks and bonds, but across different countries and different currencies. The idea is that if one country's economy is in turmoil, your assets elsewhere might be safe. He's also a big advocate for real assets, things that have intrinsic value, like gold. Throughout history, gold has been a reliable store of wealth when faith in paper money collapses. Now, this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. While the major powers are locked in this struggle, where are the safe havens? Dalio points to a surprising candidate: Brazil. Why Brazil? Well, let's look at the criteria for a good safe haven in this new world. First, you want a country that is neutral, a country that isn't firmly in either the American or Chinese camp. Brazil has managed this balancing act incredibly well. It maintains strong trade relationships with both China, its largest trading partner, and the United States. This neutrality makes it less likely to be dragged into a direct conflict or be a primary target of economic warfare. Second, you need a country rich in the resources the world desperately needs. Brazil is a commodities superpower. It's a top producer of soybeans, iron ore, coffee, and oil. No matter who is in charge of the world order, people still need to eat, build, and power their economies. This gives Brazil a permanent and essential role in the global supply chain. Its resources are its shield. Third, you want a country that is geographically isolated from the main conflict zones. Brazil is located in South America, far from the potential flashpoints in Europe and Asia. This physical distance provides a buffer against the direct impacts of a military conflict. Of course, Brazil isn't perfect. It has its own history of political instability and economic challenges, but in a world where the old certainties are disappearing, its unique combination of neutrality, resource wealth, and geographic location makes it a compelling place to consider. It represents a different kind of safety. Not safety from all risk, but safety from the specific risks of the great power conflict. So, what's the takeaway here? We are living in a pivotal moment in history. The comfortable post-war order is changing, and the transition will be turbulent. Understanding the 5 types of war, trade, tech, influence, capital, and military, helps us see the battlefield more clearly. For our finances, it means thinking differently about risk and diversifying in ways we might not have considered before. Looking beyond traditional markets to places that offer a different kind of stability. This isn't about panicking. It's about being prepared. History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it does rhyme. By studying the cycles of the past, we can better understand the present and make smarter decisions for the future. The world is changing, but with the right knowledge, we can navigate the storm. Thank you so much for watching. This is a huge topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with Dalio's theory? What do you think the future holds? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. See you next time.